Today we're going to look at building something that isn't actually a part of any game level itself, but it's something that I use a lot when I'm designing puzzle mechanics, and that's a machine to test the signal output of various containers and things that you can use to give a different signal strength. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a block of lapis, you're going to need 55 blocks of iron or any other building block that you usually use. You need one comparator, 15 redstone dust, 15 pistons, 15 slates or signs if you're not in Minecraft education. You're going to need a solid power source and a pulse power source just to test it, and then whatever containers and things you want to find the signal strength output of. So to begin with, we're going to lay ourselves out a row of 15 iron blocks, and then we're going to put our slates on them, and the last one is going to be 15, and the first one, when we get over there, that's going to be the beginning of our contraption, will be 1. So go on ahead and do that. Alright, so that's done. Then we're going to go ahead behind and we're going to lay out 2 more rows of iron blocks behind this one. And then we're going to finish off by adding a few extra rows here. And then we're going to add our colored block there. And that's just going to tell us which block we're going to be using to do the testing on. Now from here, you're going to take your comparator and you're going to add your comparator to the ground here. So it's testing the power signal going into this block. And then we're going to lay down our redstone dust along the line. There we go. Now, we're going to use our thing that's testing the signal strength, and I find the easiest thing to use is these pistons. You do have to make sure that they are facing you. I used to use redstone lamps, but the problem is lamps will actually transfer the signal sideways, and I wasn't getting an accurate count. Okay, so now we can see the redstone is going into the back of each of these pistons, and if I take something that I know has a signal strength of 15 and put it on here, we should be able to see that all 15 are powered. Okay, so that is our really simple signal strength tester. Now I'm going to throw myself into creative mode. And we can start to test where it gets interesting. Now again, we can see that our button has a signal strength of 15 and all of them goes up, which is great. But what if we don't need that for the puzzle we are doing? What if we need a specific signal strength? If we're doing kind of a more complicated build involving calibrated sensors, or we're doing kind of a combination lock type thing. So let's go over a couple of those things that we could test. So let's grab ourselves a frame. Let's grab a chest. We've got our jukebox, and we'll grab a few discs out of there. We'll grab a composter. We've got a cauldron. And that should be enough to get us started. Alright, so let's start with this item frame. So we know that when we have items in the item frame, the position in the item frame is going to change the signal strength coming out of it. So again, we can rotate our object in the item frame, and we can see that, okay, at that position I have a signal strength of 5. And we can keep going until we're back to the first position and we have our signal strength of 1. So this is a good way of figuring out what signal strength you need before you're actually in the build and having to figure it out with all of the other things in your build complicating the issue. And I know that there are lots of resources online you can use to look them up, but sometimes I find just popping into my testing world and just testing it out is a lot easier, because sometimes things don't practically work the same way they're supposed to work online. So let's check out Pig Step. Pig Step gives us a signal strength of 13. Whereas, let's try Other Side. Gives us a signal strength of 14. So we could have a puzzle where you have to choose the right music. Or if we have our cauldron, and let's use some bottles of water. So that gives us a signal strength of 1, that gives us a signal strength of 2, that gives us a signal strength of 3, and there's nowhere else we can go with this cauldron. Let's try the composter. Grab some seeds. So the more full our composter gets, the more of these pistons we can fire up to, we're at 5. We're getting pretty close to the top, that's 6. 7, and that's it. So we can get up to a signal strength of 7. So if we have a build that's somewhere around a farm, this could be part of our puzzle. And then our good old chests. As we start to put things into the chest, it's going to start to fill up a little bit, but the key thing with chests is stacks of things. So we'll get some. So now we have 4 pistons activated, and basically the more full your chest is, the higher that signal strength is going to be. And if you fill up the entire chest, you can actually get up to a signal strength of 15. So that is our quick and easy little signal strength tester, and I hope it comes in handy for your game builds.